the hidden signs of aging and why you're really feeling so tired. Let's dig right into the biological mystery of why so many of us end up feeling totally drained and sluggish, even when we haven't changed our daily routines at all. I mean, if you've been feeling a little off lately, you're definitely not alone. And honestly, the reason why might actually shock you, because it completely flips the script on everything we've been taught to expect as we get older. So think about it for a second. When does aging actually begin? When I ask that, I bet a very specific image pops into your head, right? Most of us just look in the mirror for those first signs of getting older. But we really need to challenge that assumption right out of the gate. We're so conditioned to think that aging is just visual, something that happens on the surface that we can easily see staring back at us. But the truth? The first real sign of aging happens much earlier than we think, and way, way deeper than the surface of our skin.
Like I said, we've been totally trained to think aging starts with wrinkles and gray hair. But the reality is entirely physical and internal. It actually begins completely silently, with fatigue, slower recovery, and that weird feeling where simple, everyday tasks suddenly feel kind of heavy. It's a massive disconnect between what we expect to see on the outside and what we actually start to feel on the inside.
And man, when that fatigue hits, it is just so incredibly easy to invalidate our own feelings. At first, these signs are really easy to ignore. We just write them off with the usual excuses, don't we? We blame a crazy week at work or maybe a couple nights of bad sleep. We tell ourselves we're just in a slump and literally just need to find more motivation and push harder. We rationalize the fatigue entirely away, instead of pausing to listen to what our bodies are actually trying to tell us. So we really have to stop and ask ourselves, is there something deeper, something completely invisible operating in the background here? What if that fatigue isn't just a busy week, but a biological process that actually started years ago? A process just quietly humming along in the background while you were busy living your life? Well, researchers point to a very specific turning point, and it happens right around age 35. Yep, 35. This is when the human body begins a quiet, invisible shift that changes absolutely everything. And it doesn't happen dramatically. It certainly doesn't happen overnight. It happens so quietly that you don't even realize the entire baseline of your biology is fundamentally shifting. Let's actually break down what that internal shift looks like. It's a lot like an engine slowly losing its tune. After 35, the machinery inside your cells just doesn't run quite as smoothly. Your body starts struggling to maintain muscle, and that creates this major domino effect. Your energy drops, your recovery drags out way longer, and your system even becomes significantly less effective at using the protein you eat. It is a slow, steady biological decline happening completely out of sight. And this invisible shift perfectly explains the reality that catches so many people off guard in their 40s and 50s. It's exactly why people in this age bracket suddenly feel different, even when their lifestyle hasn't changed much at all. They just feel weaker, slower, and way more drained. And the super frustrating part? No matter how much coffee they drink, how many workouts they try to cram in, or how much willpower they muster, something still feels completely off. They realize they just can't power through it anymore. Which brings us to the real culprit here, muscle decline. This is the hidden internal change, the thing happening deep inside your muscle tissue that truly drives that physical feeling of getting older. And it's happening long, long before a single wrinkle ever appears on your face. Because muscle, it's far, far more important than just looking fit for the beach. It is literally the absolute foundation of your daily vitality. It dictates your strength, your resting metabolism, and your balance. When muscle declines, every single aspect of your mobility and your long-term independence takes a massive hit. Walking, recovering, staying active, feeling confident in your own body, it all becomes undeniably harder. And this actually brings us to a huge misconception, which is what I like to call the overnight aging myth. Because everything starts to feel harder all at once, a lot of folks wake up one day and feel like their body literally aged overnight. But the somewhat scary truth is that this decline happens so slowly, most people simply don't recognize it until years later. It didn't happen suddenly at all. It was happening silently, deep inside your cells, the entire time. Okay, but here is the incredibly empowering news I want you to take away from this explainer today. I absolutely love this quote. The good news is that aging does not automatically mean weakness. Listen, getting older does not mean you're destined to be frail or perpetually tired or restricted in what you can do. You are not just a passenger on this ride. You can absolutely intervene. In fact, modern researchers are showing us exactly how to fight back.
And it relies on 5 highly actionable pillars. It all starts with prioritizing your sleep quality and taking proper recovery seriously. Then, you fuel that recovery by consuming high-quality protein and essential amino acids. And you put the whole system to work through consistent strength training. By focusing your attention on this cohesive strategy, you are directly combating that less efficient protein use and that invisible muscle loss we talked about a minute ago. Now, applying those pillars, that requires a total shift in our mindset. The old goal used to just be about living longer, literally just adding more years to the clock. But the new goal is so much better. It's about staying strong, capable, independent, and completely energized for as long as humanly possible. It isn't just about your lifespan anymore. It's about making sure those years are vibrantly healthy and fully capable. Ultimately, the earlier you understand this internal shift, the more power and control you have over how you age. So if you've been feeling more tired or a bit weaker lately, please don't just ignore it. The absolute first sign of aging isn't wrinkles. It's what's happening silently inside your body right now. If you want to learn more about taking control of your energy and truly aging healthy, make sure to subscribe to our explainers. The only question I have left for you is this: are you going to ignore the silent signs, or will you take true control of your aging journey today?